We are now recording. We don't have very many people. I just sent a thing to everybody in the 4 o'clock. I'm going to switch over to the 4 o'clock Discord. We got a bunch of people in the Discord. It looks like a lot of the same people in the Discord as in the Zoom.
Oh. What? We have Discord?
Yes, we do.
Where is the Discord link?
I will send it.
Thanks, Ben.
Chat. There's the Discord. Oh, I've got 19 people waiting. Oops. Why did I not? I guess I set it up wrong. Coming. Admit. There you are. You're all in some waiting room. How does the internet work?
I'm not sure, Dean. Haven't taken any networking classes yet.
Well, welcome. Now I've got people. Yay. Okay, I'm going to mute you all. And I'm not going to allow you to unmute yourself. I am going to unmute Karen. This is just so it doesn't get crazy. I like your faces. That's exciting to me. First off, if you have questions, put them in the chat. Karen will be monitoring the chat. If she can answer the questions, she will in chat by typing. If not, she will either do the raise hand thing to say, hey, Dean, I got a bunch of questions that we have to get answered. Or theoretically, I will pause every once in a while and say, are there any questions? I totally forgot about doing that in the last hour. So hopefully I will remember to do that this hour. We will be meeting here regularly, 4 o'clock. If you can't make a session, I will put the recording of this. I am recording this right now, double checking that I am recording it. I will put it on a YouTube channel that I have created mere hours ago. And I will be decorating it and putting up pictures and stuff. But you will be able to catch class on the YouTube channel. I'm going to keep the 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. separate, which kind of doubles my work, but who cares? This is how I always do it in real life. So this is real life. That's at least the first half of the class is going to be me kind of doing what I just did an hour ago. What usually happens is they get out of sync somehow because basically, I either go faster with you or with them over some things. And usually you'd think that you would go faster, the 4 p.m., because I just did it at 3. But what usually happens is I get to a thing and I go, oh, I forgot to tell them about this. And then I tell you about that. And then they don't have it. So here's the thing. Sometimes I forget who I told what to. So I might say, just like last week or just like yesterday when I told you about blah, this, I am now going to build on that. And you'll be like, wait a minute, you didn't tell us about that. So if it seems like I assume that I have told you something that I have not told you, tell me I have not told you. Conversely, if I start telling you something that you're like, you told us that yesterday, dude, let me know. Because why waste class time with me telling the same stupid story as yesterday, right? Okay. This is my home office. Yay. I had a dog. Sook. I have more apple for my dog. Come here. Meet everybody. Come on. Okay. This is Suki. She's just here for the apples. She likes apples.
Are you accepting ad drop forms?
Honestly, let me look. Yes.
Sorry to ruin Suki's moment there.
No, that's all right. They told us introduce everybody to your kids and your animals. I don't have any kids, but I have my animal. If you hear her barking, I got mail. Sometimes she barks. Am I accepting ad drop forms? Let me check, because as of the other day, this class was not full. Faculty course, I'm looking. Spring 2020 course selection. So what usually happens is I say no and I turn people away, and then in week 2 a bunch of people drop, and I end up with 21 out of 25. Let's see, class list. So right now I have 23 people in this class, and I'm allowed 25. So yes, I will add you to the course. There's some people, somebody was like, I want to get in the 3 o'clock class. Can you add me to that? I should have told them, I have 2 spots left in the 4 o'clock class. Get in the 4 o'clock class, especially because we're online. And if you can't make the 4 o'clock class, you can watch the videos, right?
Yeah.
So there's not that, oh, my schedule, I can't come. Come when you come. Okay. So you met my dog. Let's go to the syllabus. Let's get back to Zoom. Can the dog teach the class? I wish.
Well,
it would be about finding food and sleeping, which, you know, given the world, it ain't that bad. Okay, so let's share screen. Where is storytelling? So, this is already up in Canvas. I changed it since yesterday when I put it up, so check again. It's not really. The big thing that I changed is I added the YouTube channels down here. Those I created this afternoon. And basically, you can watch the videos from this, right? My office hours are going to be 2 to 3 p.m. Mondays and Fridays, or send me an email. We'll pick a time. In general, for office hours, I think I'm going to be hanging out in Discord. So join the Discord. You'll know it by the little capybara logo. I'll hang out there, and we can start a video chat that through Discord, or just be on the side there. Basically, that's because I've got notifications on there, and when I share stuff in there, they stay right. The other thing about the Discord is that that's what we'll be using for group work. Or I don't care if you guys want to go off and do Google Hangouts or make a Slack, or I don't know, do code shares in GitHub, whatever. Feel free. That's what I'm throwing up there. Oh, let me see the waiting room. I got people in the waiting room. Admit, I don't know why that happened. I got to figure out the whole waiting room stuff. Okay, so welcome if you were hanging out in the waiting room. Sorry.
Yassine is currently not muted.
Oh, okay. I will mute all again. And then, oh, yes. And then where's Karen? Sorry, I lost Karen. There's Karen. Unmute. And the other thing I'm going to make you the co-host. Yes. Sorry. I don't know why you weren't. Yes. Now you're the co-host. Zoom, man. It's a thing. So this is our syllabus. The phone. Don't call me. I'm not there. Nobody's there. Nobody's on campus. We've all been barred from campus. Email is fine, or check in with me. I hesitate to give my home phone, but check in with me on Discord. The books. Number 1, interactive storytelling, which here I'm gonna stop. Stop share. Okay. The book, interactive storytelling, right here. The bookstore should have it. I don't know how much they're charging you for it. Also, yes. Well, I haven't gotten there yet. I saw it online for $5 used. So, don't bust the bank on this one, right? It is, I don't even know if there's an ebook version. It is old. It uses examples like Kingdom Hearts 1, right? So we're at Kingdom Hearts 3, and I think there was 14 years between 2 and 3. So there's that. But the writing stuff is timeless. The how to build a character, how the hero's journey stuff, that's the stuff I mainly use it for, rather than the video game stuff. So that's why I keep using it, right? So basically, get it used. Don't pay a lot of money. It's free through Vital Source. Good. Get it free. Right. The second one is I have an ebook of it. I'm going to go back to sharing. Okay, share. A Creator's Guide to Transmedia Storytelling. That also may be free. I found some somewhat shady websites that said if you're in the right country, you can download this. Not sure what the right country is. It's on Amazon as a Kindle, and get it where you can get it. The big thing about that is I have reading assignments all throughout. We don't really get to it until like week 4 or 5 when we start the alternate reality game. It is your kind of handbook to how to make an alternate reality game. But if I ask you to read the whole book over the weekend, everybody freaks out and says, I can't read a whole book. So I assign a chapter or 2 every week so that by the time we get to it, you will have read the book, or at least the vast majority of it. Just because I don't talk to it doesn't mean I don't think you should be reading it. In fact, there are questions about it every week, but this week in the reading quizzes. The third book is Poetics by Aristotle. In Canvas, I have a bunch of links they have it both on the web as a PDF, and there's one that has a Kindle, an EPUB, and a PDF. Different translations will have slightly different meanings. Yes. Oh, Winnie. The reading for please have it read before class on the day that it's due. So for instance, Poetics, I say read by Friday. That means we're going to talk about it starting on Friday. So if you haven't read it by Friday, you'll be kind of clueless when we're talking about it. That said, the reading quiz is once a week and is generally it's usually due by Friday at 5, I think, Friday at 3, something like that. This week, I'm giving you till Saturday at midnight to do the reading quiz. I don't care how you do the reading quiz. There's no time limit on like how long it takes you to do the reading quiz. Feel free to have the book open in front of you. There will be questions about the various games that are required that week. So be prepared to have played the games to be able to do all the questions on the quiz. The one thing that I will say is that people have complained in the past that they opened up the quiz and they looked at the questions and then they closed the quiz and Canvas wouldn't let them back in the quiz because the quiz was done. So once you open the quiz and close it, once you close the quiz, having seen the questions, you have completed the quiz whether you answered the questions or not. And if you haven't answered the questions, you will get a 0. Feel free to leave it open in a tab. I don't know if Canvas will time out. Canvas probably will time out. But don't open the quiz until you're ready to take it, basically. And then take as long as you need to in order to do it. Also, with the quizzes, the way Canvas works, they're all short answers. And by that, I mean short. They're a couple of words long. If you write a paragraph, Canvas will cut it off after something like 10 words because it's supposed to be short answer. And if the answer that I'm looking for is on your 30th word, I will not see it, or Karen won't see it. So you will not get credit for it. So keep your answers short. That said, Canvas has like an auto grader And unless you put in exactly what I put in as the answer, including like capitalizations and punctuation, it will mark you wrong. That's why we have Karen to come back and look over everything and make sure that if it's close, if you capitalize something and I didn't, but it's the same thing, you get credit for it. So if you take the quiz and it says you got 1 out of 2 or 0.5 out of 2, and you answered all the questions right, don't worry. Karen will go through all the quizzes and she's got the answer key right there. And she will just compare the answers to what you put. And if you're close, it's a reasonable, like, oh yeah, it means the same thing, she will mark you correct. So those quizzes are due each week. Let's look at the chat. I see a lot of chat this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, well, I'll leave it. Anything I should know about, Karen? Nope. Okay. The Dungeons and Dragons 5e Player's Handbook. We're all going to play Dungeons and Dragons one session. I have a PDF of the basic beginner stuff that Wizards puts out for getting started with D&D. That is actually on Canvas, but I'll link to it. So that will probably be enough to get you started. I need people to be DMs for me. I need 5 people. Can I see hands? I know there's a raise hand thing. Yeah, okay, I see at least 2 hands. There's a raise hand. If I can get 5, I'll be happy. I got 2 hands. Any other? If anybody has played D&D before and wants to try DMing, this would be the time. It's a one night, one shot only. Basically, the way it works is I will, or actually my friend Ian will run a session as the DM for the DMs, and they will be players. And then we'll give the adventure to everybody. It's a one-shot. It's a 5th edition one-shot. Yes, it is 5th edition. No, you can't use whatever. Every year, everybody complains. Let me just say, every year. For years, I've been a Pathfinder person. And I made everybody play Pathfinder. And as 5th edition has gotten more popular, more and more people have complained that I'm making them play Pathfinder. So this year, I've switched to 5th edition to stop the people complaining, and already people are complaining. I cannot win. I'm going to take a drink now. So, okay. So we will be playing, and then you will all be writing an adventure. And I'll get to that in a bit. Next, there are video games to be played. These are all kind of story-based video games. Tonight, I will be playing 30 Flights of Loving. All of these games, I would prefer you play them yourself. And if you played them, 5 years ago when it first came out, because some of these are like 30 Flights is kind of old. Stanley Parable is kind of old. Even Tacoma at this point is old. Facade is way, way old. You should replay them. Do a speed run. Get it solid in your mind again. All right. But tonight at 8 p.m. on my Twitch channel, which you can see right here, like and subscribe. I'm going to get affiliate out of this. Woohoo! You can watch me play it and be in the chat and talk to me. And just in case, you can't get it, whatever. I just want to show you, let's see. Share that. Beginner's Guide is one of them. That's down the line a little bit. Beginner's Guide is $10. Come on. Tacoma is $20. And 30 Flights of Loving is $5. 30 Flights of Loving includes Gravity Bone. It's in the main menu of Gravity Bone, so Gravity Bone is essentially free. Also, new share, Until Tomorrow. The Stanley Parable is free on the Epic Games Store. So go to the Epic Games Store. See, free. Get it on the Epic Games Store. If you were going for your 5-year achievement for not having played the Stanley Parable, well, get it on the Epic Games Store for free and play it over on the Epic Games Store instead of on Steam, and there'll be different achievements. Yay. Solved. Okay. So I will be playing all the games. Also, just to go through, Facade is free. I will put that up on Canvas to download. It works on Windows 10, even though it's ancient. Passage is free. There's a website where you can download it. And Dr. Langeskov the Tiger and the Terribly Cursed Emerald, a Whirlwind Heist, is also free on Steam. Finally, on Friday night, right here in this very room, we will be watching Witness as long as I can get the Blu-ray to play on my computer. And I don't know, I understand as long as Zoom doesn't have some sort of weird algorithm that says, oh no, he's showing a Hollywood movie, it's for a class. I would normally reserve Upper Pro and show it on campus. But this way we all get to watch it here. If you cannot make it Friday night, it is, well, hold on one sec. I want to get that out of there. Close that. If you cannot make it, here we go. You can find it online. It is a movie from 1985. It stars Harrison Ford and Kelly McGillis. And you can get it on Amazon for $3.99 rent. We're going to be talking about it next week. So you can watch it over the weekend as you will. Make some popcorn, sit down with your mom and dad. It's Harrison Ford is a Philly cop who has to take shelter among the Amish. It's great. You'll love it. I don't know if you'll love it, but it's pretty good. It won the Best Screenplay Award for 1985. Everybody should have seen it. I'm just sick of trying to find an example that everyone has seen so that we can talk about 3-act structure. So I have a movie that is very typically 3-act structure so that we can talk about the structure.
Dean,
Yes.
can we interrupt for a minute?
Yes.
We have questions. I think it was 8 p.m. on Friday night to watch the movie.
Yeah.
And then clarify which Facade game.
Which Facade game? Facade. It'll be on Canvas.
It will be on Canvas. All right.
The whole thing can be downloaded from Canvas. It's an AI story generating thing about having dinner with a couple of friends. So yeah. Download it, basically. 8 o'clock Friday night, Witness the movie. I may change that in case but I don't think so. I think that's fine. 8 o'clock. Usually it's earlier because I don't want to stay too late at school, but I'm home. Okay, purpose of the course. We are going to figure out interactive storytelling, or at least we're going to get started on interactive storytelling. So basically the problem with interactive storytelling, with telling stories in games, is if you retain control of the story and you say, this is the story, you do this and you do this and you do this, we all get the same story, right? And players can't choose what to do. Whereas a game is all about choices. So if I make choices and they don't matter because the story is the same, then I don't feel like it's a very good game, but it might be a great story. So how do we balance those two things? That's basically it. We're going to try to write together. So you give up some of your control over what the story is to another person who is writing with you. And then we will tell stories in groups, aka Dungeons and Dragons. And finally, the entire class as one big group will create one online story game, right? Also known as an alternate reality game. You will create a game for the other class, and the other class will create a game for you, and you will play each other's games. You will learn to write fearlessly. That means turning off all those horrible anxiety voices in your head telling you this is terrible, and just getting stuff on the page. I can't tell you how many times students have come to me and said, I think this is really terrible, but I got it in on time. And then I'm like, well, how am I supposed to approach that? If you think it's terrible, why would I give you a good grade on that, right? And students have learned that, number one, don't tell me that they think their stuff is terrible. That's an easy fix. But I would prefer you not to think your stuff is terrible. Write what you want, what you think is good. So think about all the times like you're like, oh, I'm just writing this to get to the good part. Don't write that. Just write the good part. Make sense? Once you get it down on paper, revise. And that's when you turn the critic stuff on in your head and pretend somebody else wrote it. That's the big kind of switch you have to throw, because it's very easy to see how to fix other people's stuff. I find I read other people's stuff all the time and go, well, if they'd only done this, it would have been phenomenal, right? If you can look at your own stuff and say, oh, if they'd have only done this, and then, hey, I will do that, right? The other thing is you will be required to tailor a story to outside parameters. I will give you constraints. For instance, your hero's journey story needs to be 5 pages long. You can't possibly fit your story into 5 pages. It's going to take 30 pages. Guess what? If you don't fit it into 5 pages, the publisher just says, yeah, no, we can't use it. You're fired, right? So you have to fit it into the parameters that you're given. I was once told this game, the story starts in Rhodes and ends in Hades. It's going to be 12 levels long. Each level is a different place. You figure out how we get from Rhodes to Hades. Okay, go. Okay, that's my job. You will identify and create various story structures. Hero's journey is kind of the heart of the course. There's a fair amount of criticism nowadays of the hero's journey. Every game doesn't have to be the hero's journey. But here's the thing. Oh, admit, I just got a new person. Every game does not have to hit the hero's journey, but until you know what the hero's journey is, it's very hard to break the rules of the hero's journey. So this is the class, this is the 1000 level class, where you learn the rules and then break them after this class. See what I'm saying? 3-act structure. I am going to ruin Hollywood movies for you. Most Hollywood movies are written in a 3-act structure. I will go through that. And you will see that even though 2 movies can't be more different, they are actually the same structure. And we'll talk about basic spatial structure, building an area that your players can wander around in that will tell a story. Okay, so let's get down to all of this stuff. You got to read the stuff, right? There will be a reading quiz each week. The reading quiz is not about getting you, right? I mostly want you to get perfect scores on all the reading quizzes. Not even mostly. I do want you to get perfect scores on all the reading quizzes. Basically, I want you to read the stuff. Next, Write Club. Write Club is an old writer thing that used to happen still happens at the Game Developers Conference. Not this year, but every previous year. Did you leave, Karen? No.
I was asking my neighbor to turn their volume down.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just needed to know if I had to re-co-host you.
Nope. We're good.
So, okay. So, Write Club always happened in a bar after GDC. Still does. All the writers go to a bar where writers like to go. And every writer in the room can participate. You are given a prompt, and you are given 2 minutes to write to that prompt. So the prompt might be, you are going to write the title of a game that combines My Little Pony and Grand Theft Auto, right? And what is the name? Like, we can't use either of those things because we don't have the rights, but it's going to be Cute Ponies Doing Crimes, right? And our working title is Cute Ponies Doing Crimes. Come up with a better one. And then every writer in the room, while drinking beers, would come up with their best answer to that. And then the judges would go around and you'd read it aloud to everyone, and the judges would give you thumbs up and thumbs down. And if you got thumbs down, you sat down. And then they'd do another round. And again, it would be something else. And every time, you only had 2 minutes to come up with something. So you were shooting from the hip. So at the end, when there was only one person left, that person would win some really cheesy Game Boy Advance game, right? Something that was in the back of somebody's closet. And essentially, it was a goof gift. But what they really won was after they won, everybody else in the room would come over and say, "Hey, you're a good writer. Do you have a card?" And at the one conference that I went to that had the How to Break into Game Writing panel. They had 5 people up there. And out of those 5 people, 3 of them had won Write Club in previous years. And were taking, and basically said, I got my first break because I won Write Club. And somebody gave me their card, and I called them, and they hired me to write something for them. And from there, my career moved along, right? So for Write Club here, because this is practice, because you're in school, your job is not on the line. There's no beer involved, although there can be if that's up to you. I don't know. I don't judge. I will give you a writing prompt. Most weeks, it will be something like come up with the title of Cute Ponies Doing Crimes. And in the past, I would do it in class, and you'd have 15, 20 minutes to do it. Come up with 3 things you think are good. And if any one of them was decent, you'd get the credit. Okay. So this week, I've already got Write Club up. Let's go back to Canvas. Canvas. That's reading quiz. Assignments. Write Club number 1 is due tomorrow at 5. Take a picture of yourself with your pet, a stuffed animal, an action figure, a sibling, any other character, a parent, I don't care. Hold up a sheet of paper or have them hold it up. Or get out paint or Photoshop. I don't care. Somewhere on that picture, write the name of your companion. And then tell me a story about them in 2 sentences or less. So in my example, this is Suki. A tall, thin trucker kicked her once. Now she attacks trucks on sight. That is my story. I'm sticking to it. It is part true and part false. I won't tell you which is which. Her name is Suki, though. Just saying. It can be true. It doesn't have to be. Please don't insult your siblings. And the big thing is make sure it's legible so I can read it. And I will go. It's due tomorrow at 5. I will go through them. And the other thing that I do with Write Clubs is just before I'm about to do the new Write Club, I will go through the old Write Club and read aloud any particularly good ones, right? Just so you get an idea of the good stuff. So we're going to do that every week. So the first one's due on tomorrow. And honestly, if you spend more than a half an hour on it, you calm down. It's not that big a deal. Try to come up with something original. That's all it is. It's to get your brain spitting stuff out. Okay. Let's switch back. Okay. So that's Write Club, reading quizzes. So next week, what we'll be doing is writing with a partner. Probably Monday, I'll go through how to partner up on Canvas. Usually I just send paper around the classroom and say, write down who your group is, and then I make the groups in Canvas. I'm going to have you guys make them. I can make it so that you can see, and it's just dragging your name into a group, so that I don't have to go get a pile of email about who's in what group. So you're going to make 3 characters each. That means that in writing with a partner, you're going to make 6 characters. You're going to use them to create a story. So plot comes out of character. If you know who your characters are, you will be able to breeze through what they do. So you're going to write a story together. Then we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons, right? And this is a published adventure, a one-shot with pre-generated characters. Big thing is, how do we do that online? Normally, we all get in a room and roll dice and eat Cheetos and stay up too late. I've used it now. I figured it out. A thing called Roll20. It's free. It's a web page. It's got very low overhead. And it's a virtual tabletop. DMs, if you just want to, get together on Discord or in a Google Hangout, or you have Fantasy Grounds Ultimate that you can share with everybody, I'm all for it. However you want to do it. I will have the Roll20 stuff pre-made so that you can hopefully use it. I'm not quite clear on how to share them with everyone. I still got to figure that out. So first, I'm gonna run the 3 p.m. DMs, and my friend Ian is gonna run the 4 p.m. DMs, and then each DM will get 4 players from the class, and you will find a time to play together, and you will play Dungeons and Dragons, and then you are going to write a Dungeons and Dragons adventure, and turn it in on Canvas, and then you are going to take that same adventure, turn it into a web page where you can download the PDF of the adventure, but you're going to write a little bit of, what exactly makes this adventure special, maybe put up the map and any kind of illustrations you have, and make a portfolio page. I see a bunch of...
Right, there's some questions here about partners. You said on step 3, create and submit 3 characters with a partner.
Yeah.
There's questions about whether you can go to 3 people in a team, and someone was kind enough to point out there are 25
I know.
people in the class.
There will be one team of 3, and all the other teams will be of 2. Just the way it's got to be. Honestly, by the time we get there, that assignment is always the one where someone drops. So we'll see. But yeah, it's fine to do three people on a team, and then you end up with 9 characters. It's fine. And I'll go into exactly how to do that. The adventure is group. It is 4 people in a Dungeons and Dragons party and a dungeon master. The DMs will be playing, and I will be their DM. No, you can't call dibs on team of 3. We're not there yet. Okay. So I've got about a minute left. Anything else? I will pick this up tomorrow right here. I still have to talk a bunch about the alternate reality game. Writing an adventure. Writing an adventure is individual. Everyone's going to write your own adventure. No groups for writing an adventure. Okay. So thank you all for coming. Go take a picture with a character. or a stuffed animal or an action figure or a pet. And I will see you all here tomorrow. Okay. We're going to stop the share. Oh, one other thing. Don't forget, I'm streaming tonight on Twitch if you want to come by. 8 o'clock. Gravity Bone and 30 Flights of Loving. See you then. End meeting.